Hello guys, Arkan here. I just want to take some time to tell you guys that we have a Patreon set up for the channel. It's an additional way you can support us. So I will put the link in the YouTube cards and in the description. Thanks for checking it out and I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright Miles, time for one more workout. Brian picks up my hands, the pads of both paws sliding together in the heat as he guides my hand down his chest, to his abs, and down his shorts. It's rock hard. I've been trying to contain myself all day. Were you enjoying the show? Shit, he really was baiting me this whole time. But I can't stop myself from shuddering as he feeds my chest in return. You smell really good. You smell good too. Brian repeats the same steps as my hand did, taking his time to explore every part of my body. Soft too. I like that about you. He finds his target, giving my a few teasing squeezes under the fabric it's trapped in before pulling my trunks down and freeing me. Okay guys, since they popped out their chickens from their their from their trunks, that is my cue to tell you that it's probably going to get too sexual for me to fully narrate again on YouTube. So what I will do, I will skip ahead and maybe provide previews like this along the way, and after I will give a summary of what they did. So see you in a bit. Okay, so Miles is sitting on the wooden bench and he has removed his trunks, and on the right is a view of Miles and Brian's poles sticking together. I think it's called okay, and now Brian has inserted Miles pole into his mouth. Okay, and now on this view over here, Brian is Frenching Miles while also using his hand to stroke Miles's pole. Okay, so on the upper left, Brian is standing up and he is showing his pole he's presenting his pole to Miles so that Miles can devour it. Okay, and now over here, Miles has has devoured the pole of Brian. Okay, so Miles couldn't handle the growing pole of Brian, so he released it momentarily. Okay, and now here is Brian, getting ready to I think he's going to mount Miles now. Don't we need like lube or something? So here comes the title of the VN. Okay, do you all remember the title of the VN? So you know what they're going to use. Okay, in this view over here, it just shows Brian's sweaty body, his sweaty back. Okay, and now here, Brian is presenting himself because Brian offered that Miles would top him. So he's in the position for Miles. You can use sweat as lube. Roll credits. Because they already mentioned the VN name. If you forgot the name of the VN, it's over here. Just so you know. Okay, so Miles is now eating Brian's plump peach. His his humps. Okay, and now this is a closer view of Miles licking Brian's donut hole. Okay, and now this view just shows Brian. He's enjoying the cat tongue. I imagine Miles' tongue has bristles like cats would have. Okay, on the left side is Miles getting ready to insert his pole into the backside of Brian. Okay, on the right, Miles is beginning thrusting towards the backside of Brian. Okay, we have this very nice view of uh Miles topping Brian, and Brian is enjoying it. He's lolling his tongue out. Oh, this is so, so romantic when the top uh hugs the bottom very tightly like this. This view is so romantic. I love it. Okay, so they changed positions, and now Brian is on his back, and Miles is, of course, still in the inserting position, in the top position. Okay, so this view, this view shows Brian has erupted from the pleasure given to him by Miles. Okay, so this is just an X-ray view of Miles's pole inside Brian, and Miles is erupting his cat cream into Brian. Oh, by the way, I didn't describe the scene yet. So it's just Miles collapsed on top of Brian, and they're covered in, their cream, and they're just talking to each other. We grab our trunks and step out of the defiled sauna. Okay, so I will give a quick summary of what they did. So first they were in the sauna and they were playing around, like hunter and prey and whatnot, and they were pouncing. They pounced on each other, and then when Miles flipped Brian on his back, Miles licked Brian's body, and then it turned into a kiss, and then they got more, frisky, and they were rubbing their private parts onto each other, and eventually they removed their trunks. And first, Brian offered to suck Miles first, and then after Miles sucked Brian, I think initially the plan was Brian would top Miles, but since I think Miles was, if I remember correctly, Miles was scared and about taking in Brian, so Brian offered that Miles would top him, so Miles would top Brian, and then Brian presented himself. He got into position, and he asked Miles to prep his hole first by licking it, and then eventually, when Brian was prepared, Miles inserted it, and of course did some thrusting motions, and he also flipped Brian. Brian's first position was laying down on his stomach, and his butt was up in the air. So eventually, Miles flipped Brian on his back so that Miles could see him, since Miles wanted to see Brian's face while he was topping him. And after a few more thrusting motions, eventually Brian erupted first, and then Miles next. He erupted inside his best friend Brian, and after that they collapsed. Miles collapsed on Brian, and they talked for a bit, and now here we read that they're going to go out of the sauna. So let's continue reading. Should we clean up our mess? Nah, they like it that way. It'll get cleaned up later. I wasn't kidding when I said people here get. The change of climate feels really freeing. I thought I was gonna be cooked alive in there. All the probably didn't help. Brian walks into the shower stalls again, making sure to show off his bare to me. It was dripping with. I look back and I can see a trail behind him. Did I really that much? That much? You made a good mess, Gato. He makes sure I get a good view of his as he leans into the stall and turns on his shower, holding a hand out to make sure it's cold. I can't help but stare at his cheeks as he goes in, but I think we need to do this separately for now. We'd probably just get dirty again if we shared the stall. I head into my own stall on the opposite side, but I flash him a smile. He smiles back. I step inside that same tiled floor as before and turn the shower knob to the right this time. Ah. As the icy cold water hits my head, it feels like a gift of an oasis. Especially after being in that oven for so long. Let alone all the... This is a well-deserved cool down. I lift my arms up and get a whiff of my own musk. I think a deep clean shower is called for here. They got a soap dispenser on the wall. It takes a few presses for it to finally squeeze out. Squirt? Scentless, but it should get the smell of and sweat out of me. We're both quiet as we wash ourselves, but I soon hear a door open and a romp of otters pour out from the pool. The pitter-patter of their paws almost sound like a tiny horde approaching. I can spot them all pulling down their swimwear and running up to take all the stalls beside us. I think a few of them are sharing them too. But I just focus on getting myself clean for now. They're definitely sharing some of the stalls with the squeaks and sounds I'm hearing. Brian really wasn't lying about how people are here. Guess this was his plan all along for me, huh? He was really trying to get me all over his when he was changing. Hell, maybe it started with him always coming to the shop. Maybe that's why he was so needy with me. Is there something more to this? A deep rinse and the towel off. I'm now shivering and naked. I wrap my towel around my waist for some sense of modesty. Brian meanwhile steps out of his shower completely freeballing it, casually tossing his shorts into some loud machine that starts spin drying them. I follow his lead and he waits for me to dry out my own shorts before we head back into the locker room. We don't really have much to say the entire time. I turn the dial on my lock and grab my clothes as the metal screeches closed. So, what does this make us now? To be honest, I don't know either. Underwear goes on, then my shorts. I dig around my pack for my deodorant. I'm fine with just working out in the gym together. It was a heat of the moment thing. I turn to him putting on his shorts with no underwear. Don't be like that. I had a lot of fun doing all that stuff. I wouldn't mind doing it again. But in a more private place next time. Haha, okay. We're still friends. That lick each other's sweat off. And flips me around while my... my arms are gonna be so sore tomorrow. Awaken something else inside you? I'll make sure to forget the body spray next time. Don't threaten me with a good time, Brian. I slip on my shirt and backpack. I turn over to Brian and see his bag on his shoulder. He's missing his shirt though. So you doing anything after this? Probably go home and sleep the rest of the day off after all this. Our stomachs growl. I guess I could use some after-workout meals. Know any place good? There's this ramen stand. I know the fox who runs it. I could go for that, then go sleep. You need a spotter for that? I sleep in the dude, Miles. And? He gives me a grin. Alright, I'm up for a sleepover too. Yeah. He gives me a hug and I return it as tight as I can back. And maybe I get cocky and squeeze his ass too. Brian shakes his head at me, smiling. I guess you really do have the mark of a hunter in you. Guess any wolves near me better watch out before I eat them all up. I give him a little wink as he shakes his head at me. Alright, let's roll. I never did give him back his shirt. Oh, it's done. Sweat us Lube. Made in Game Maker by Otter and Nanabi Kitsune. Miles Kurano as Joshua the Fox. Brian O'Donnell as Otter. Spanish translation by Dual Seeker. Oh, that's my Discord friend. Okay. And here are the other supporters. Okay, and we have this view of Miles and Brian eating ramen. That is so nice. Okay, so thoughts about the VN. It was short and sweet. I think it's nice that, you know, best friends doing something casual at first, and then they maybe evolve to something more. But I know from the dialogue earlier that they didn't really confirm that they'll start dating each other. So for now, I think it's going to be something something casual, and hopefully they will start dating in the future. But I don't know if the story will continue. Anyway, that's it. So if you guys like that, I hope you can leave me a like on this video and maybe a subscribe if you haven't yet. And I want you guys to take some time to appreciate something in your life today. And I will see you on the next Let's Read. Thank you guys for watching. Bye! Before we end the video, I would like to give a massive thank you to our patrons. Your support means more than the world to us. It means the galaxy to us. And a special shout out to Alexandro Garcia Nieves for becoming a Lightfall associate. Thank you so much! Check out patreon.com/arkandre07 to be a patron today. Ciao!